What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Sal here. Just trying to figure out if this is going to work or not. So, brief moment here as I continue to do a little bit of testing here just to see if it's not going to. There we go. Actually, we're looking pretty good right now. So, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen, man? It's been a minute since I've been back, and we're looking so far pretty good. What's going on, guys? And just testing 1 2 3, testing 1 2 3. All right, looks like we're still having that issue though, where it's dropping frame rates and stuff. Let me see here, man. Just having a little bit of an issue where it's dropping frame rates. But sometimes it looks good, and some people are saying like it looks really good for them. Some people saying it looks really bad for them. It is dropping frame rates again. Yeah, I'm just testing some shit out, guys. I'm still working on this. How the frame, my bit rate is jumping all the way from like, it'll go all the way down to like 1300 and then go all the way up to 7000. It's just like all over the place, crazy. So I'm just trying to figure out what's going on, guys. So I'm just testing. I don't want you guys to think that I'm not working on this. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm on my like third router. I've had guys come in and replace all the wires in the house right now. So we're trying to figure out what's the cause of this. Yeah, it's starting and stopping, right? So we just trying to figure shit out, guys. I'm just trying to figure some shit out. I don't know what the cause of this would be. If I got to go out and buy a new computer, I'm willing to do that too. I mean, I'm willing to do that too because uh, if I got to buy a new computer, I mean, it is what it is because I can't, I can't keep playing around with this. I got to get back to business. All right. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just testing some shit out. What's going on, guys? I'm just testing shit out. Just testing shit out. I should have a dummy channel to do this on, but it's starting and stopping. Brian King, check out the recent fundamental releases. I mean, recent news release on USEI. That's where you'll get it from. Hold on here. Let me see if I could pull it up myself. USEI. I'll pull it up and give it to you guys. So I'm still working on this shit, guys. Still working on this shit. I'm terribly sorry. I know it looks like shit. I know it looks like shit. All right. But somebody was telling me about where did I get the news on USEI. There it is right there. That's the article right there on USEI. As you can see there, it's on the screen. They gave away that 20% stock dividend on December 19th. So that's where that comes from. That's where that comes from. All right. So I'm pushing through it now, and it looks like the stream is actually holding now. Is it pretty good over there on you guys' end now? Somebody told me just get on and just let it kind of buffer through. And it looks like it's actually holding the stream now. All right. So if that being said, man, I wouldn't mind doing the show right now if you guys are up for it because it looks actually pretty good right now. Yeah. It's good on you guys then? Okay. Okay. All right. Fuck it then. Shit. Let's do a show, man. Let's fucking do a show. All right. Let's do a show then, man. Hold on. Where's my disclaimer? Because you know you white folks will sue a nigga if I don't have my disclaimer up. All right. Let me run this disclaimer real quick. Do your own research and due diligence before investing in any company. The information I provide is in no way or manner a professional suggestion to purchase shares in any publicly traded company. I am not licensed to provide financial advice, and this should be considered entertainment. These stock profiles are intended to be trading ideas, a starting point for research. Any individual who chooses to invest in any securities should do so with caution. Investing in securities is speculative and carries a high degree of risk. You may lose some or all the money that is invested. Always research your own investments and consider consulting with a registered investment advisor or a licensed stockbroker before investing. All right, there we go. Now your brother's got some protection. We can go ahead and get some shit popping off, man. Overall, first and foremost, thank you, of course, to the sacrifices of Dr. King. Is the only reason why I'm up here to be able to do that. So it was some really good watching a documentary this morning on his life and the sacrifices he made, and I am very, very grateful for that. With that being said, it's time for us to, make some money. And going into the week, guys, I saw USEI announced that, on the 19th. I had saw that announcement way back when, but I had just saw the way it was slowly, trying to, figure its way out of its situation where it's trading significantly, just slowly climbing above the 200 moving average. All right. And I think it could be making a move here. And again, I put it out there not as, hey, everybody go grab it or everybody go jump on it. That wasn't what I was trying to do. That wasn't what I was trying to do. It was just to for everybody to just kind of maybe see its attention. Oh man, it's buffering again. Yeah, just to sit on it, man. Just sit on it. Eastside says it's buffering again. God damn. Yeah, my bit rate just won't stay high enough, dude. And I swear I'm not running anything else. Hold on, let me close my AVG antivirus. Let me turn that off. All right, I turned off my AVG. Let me see what else can I turn off, man? I ain't got nothing else besides my camera. All right, yeah, let's see what it does, man. Let's just see what it does, cause man, this is annoying as fuck, though, dude. This is annoying as fuck. Somebody told me I should just go to just making videos like I used to. Just go to making videos. Bands tightening a little bit on NVCN. NVCN's got some bands tightening on that at 182. So I'm trying to figure out if this is going to be another situation like RXII. If you guys remember RXII, that was a situation where we saw the bands just getting ridiculous. And on Friday, RXII was that shit, man. Everybody pretty much who got in on RXII with me, we all kind of made money on that one. So shout out to everybody who got in on RXII. That was a really, really good trade for everybody on that one. So yes, indeed. Craig G said try WebRoot antivirus. Yeah, I'll look into that. Maybe it's AVG, man. Maybe it's this AVG shit, but something's been, fucking it up. I think it's something in the computer, but I don't know what it is. I ran all the, I'll try RedRoot. Pure Naturals, PNAT. Here's the thing, though, on PNAT, though, as I look at the chart, I'm trying to figure out if it finds that floor, but it's a beautiful chart, though, on PNAT, man. Hold on. How long has it been doing this? Okay. It's like slowly been climbing on PNAT, Pure Nationals. And not bad, man. Not bad at all. Looks like it's been doing that for a couple weeks now. And that's a good looking chart, dude. That's a pretty good looking chart on PNAT. That's a pretty good looking chart. Brian King, you said $30 entry and exit and commission. That's crazy, man. Hey, Brian King, you might want to look at, moving over to Trade Zero, bro. Trade Zero, or even Short Trader. If you're overseas, it's always good to use those brokers out in the Bahamas because they offers you so much, better opportunities than what's available in those countries in the EU. You know, because those EU countries, they don't do a good job of providing you guys with good service at all. You said put everything on default. Yeah, but I don't even have no settings up like that, dude. Let me see here. If I lower my bit rate, then how about that? If I lower my bit rate to like 3,000. Let's see if I lower my bit rate. Intentionally lower my bit rate. Oh no, that's worse. Let me see here. Yeah, gave your broker lower mines. Yes, I'm using a wired connection. I'm using a wired connection. So I lowered my bit rate to 3,000. We'll see what happens. Brian King, yeah, you are right. They are offshore. You're right. Okay, I see what you're saying, Brian King. I see what you're saying. Let me see. The thing about it, if I pull up Task Manager, see, some of you guys in this chat room, you guys are computer experts. I wish I had you guys here to look at my shit, because then you guys would know what the hell's going wrong, and it's probably something real stupid too. Yeah, yeah. And not only that, but if you call up E-Trade after you use your 60 days and your 500 free trades, just call them up and say, hey, look, I've been doing, making all these trades, blah, blah, blah. They'll lower you down to $7.99. If you call up, they'll lower you down to $7.99. For example, I'm at $7.99 right now with E-Trade because I make so many damn trades, or I was anyway, but now I'm not going to be messing with options anymore because now the options are not as predictable. Yeah, it could be my AVG, man. I'm going to uninstall AVG. I'm going to uninstall that shit. And then I got the NVIDIA GeForce Experience, whatever the fuck that is. And then HP digital imaging monitor. I want to close that. What else is this? Logitech software. Logitech webcam. I want to close that out. Well, it's not that no more options, man. It's just the fuck that is now that I've been dabbling a little bit in options, I'm missing some of these penny moves, man. We've had some stocks recently that have done 100, 200%. For example, there was a stock that I got paid to promote here on the show. What's that oil company? FESL. FESL. I was paid to promote that stock for a little bit. It was like a week or so. And then the stock, of course, I stopped pushing it. The stock went down. And then look what FESL did on Friday. But I would have caught that move if I was, actively looking for penny stocks that day. FESL, look what that stock did that day. FESL, that was a nice day for the stock, man. Over the course of 2 or 3 days, that was a nice little move. Not huge volume, but I wouldn't have taken no thousands of shares, but that was a 61% move on Friday, man. All right, so I'm continuing to watch it, but it's going through spurts where it's like maintaining, and then BTUUQ went from $1,200 to 457. BTUUQ, BT Peabody Energy Corporation. Let me see here. Was that a reverse split? Looks like that was possibly a reverse split on BTUUQ. Yeah, I think that was my Time Warner Cable Ace V. URRE, it was just a pullback, man. At the end of the day, URRE will continue to make higher gains, but it was a pullback here on. I mean, pretty drastic though. Looks like somebody who was in heavy for a long period of time decided to get up out of there. It was no. But then again, at the end of the day, nobody wants their stocks diluted as well. So, you know, again, that's that shitty shit that a lot of penny stocks do is when they see their stock prices start rising, especially when you talk about these NASDAQ penny stocks, that's when they want to start doing, public offerings and shit like that. That's annoying as fuck. That's annoying as fuck because you finally got a following in the stock, and now all of a sudden you want to dilute people by offering, shares to people who weren't fucking with you to begin with. That's the most frustrating thing ever. Yeah, they're very frustrating to understand. All right, but URRE, yeah, was doing very, very well, but I still like its potential to get back to 3. In fact, I think URRE, if you weren't into the stock before when we were really, talking about it heavy, I'd probably look into getting it at this point for a retest of 3. I'd like to see what the stock does tomorrow and Wednesday, to see what people think about this offering. Are they going to buy these dips, or are they going to just continue to dump? Yeah, guys, I really just wanted to test out this stream and figure it out, uh, because I want to test the computer over at my girl's place and figure out, is it my computer or what? Because if I can't figure it out, I'm the type of dude, I'll just throw the whole damn computer away and move on and buy a whole damn new computer. Of course, I'm gonna take the graphics card with me though, because this is just embarrassing. Yeah, okay, yeah, the buffering is annoying. Okay, I'm sorry guys, I'm about to get up off this. I'm sorry about this buffering situation, man, because this is. I just didn't want you guys to think that I'm not trying to fix this shit, that I'm not trying to, figure out what's going on. Let me see here. Let me up this up a little bit, man. Yeah, that I'm not trying to figure out what's going on or figure out how to improve this situation, because I certainly am. You know what I'm saying? Certainly am trying to improve what's going on with this buffering situation. So I don't want you guys to think that shit ain't trying to get better. All right, so I'm going to boost this up a little bit more. Yeah. I might have to switch over to that Verizon Vios. But what I really need to do is probably move to the A with the folks and get up on that Google internet. People say is the truth. That's probably what I need to be doing. You said before you go, do I know if SureTrade or Trade Zero has USC as an option? No. The stock can't be bought as an option because it's too cheap. Damn, why is it? The stock can't be bought as an option. It's too cheap. There are no options available on USEI. Like again, USEI is not. It's not a pump. It's not something that I'm being paid to pump. All I'm saying is that it's a stock that, I literally watched in my account $100 turn into like $1,700, $1,800. You know what I'm saying? And I know the owners pay promoters to push the stock. So for them to be coming back in compliance, now moving into the hemp to energy sector, I know they're going to put that kind of money behind people to move the stock. So if you can put $50 or $100, and I know what it did for me, that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it's going to be something that's going to run tomorrow or anything like that. But I think maybe a couple months down the road, you can be looking at this stock at, double 55, double 65, those kind of records. Because when I look at, SFOR, when I look at SGBY, when I look at these stocks that have a ton of shares out there, but have a following, that's what I see in USEI. Said the audio is out. No, audio is fine, sir. Said 4 different ways to open an option. No, I don't mean options. I mean a normal trade. Yes, Brian King. Yeah, you can buy them normally on SureTrader and Trade Zero. God, this buffering is annoying, bro. Shit is annoying as fuck. Because I see what you guys are dealing with. I'm using E-Trade to buy USEI. Said audio is on the low end. Is it still pretty low now? Somebody said audio was on the low end. Test, 1, 2, 3. Test, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, guys, I'm trying to fix all this shit now. Because I know it's been kind of ridiculous for some of y'all, man. Can you take your headshot out the way and check it that way? Oh, so you think the stream would do better if I just take myself out the let me see here. Let's see if it plays better if I just remove my camera. So you think I should do it something like this? Alright. It's actually holding pretty well though, isn't it? Shout out to whoever brought that idea up, taking my, because that's actually like, uh-oh, there's the buffer. Fuck. Spoke a little too soon. Look at that. Yeah. Let me see, man. Yeah, it's got to be something running in the background. It's got to be something running in the background, guys. And I appreciate it. You guys enjoying your weekend over here, wasting time with me. I appreciate it. I could pull up my task manager, but then it'll stop everything. Yeah, it's still fucking buffering. Let me see here. He's talking about MLCG. Yeah, the financial company. God damn, man, this shit is horrible, bro. You know, when I look at MLCG, oh no, that looks horrible. It's really broken out of, you know, some deep, practically really just a lot of boredom. And this is kind of what happens when you know, news drops, and that's basically what happened. Is that news dropped on ML Capital Group, and went to, you know, the stock went soaring, man. And this is basically what was responsible for it. ML Capital Group announces record Q4 2016 sales, and you know, MLCG, you know, but it's good to see that, you know, this is a business actually in operation, you know, because a lot of these stocks out here not really doing any real business. So it's good to see that there were people following the stock, and sometimes that's all it takes is people to see that the company's actually really doing some shit for the stock to move. You know. So, don't call me now. I ain't got time for that. So yeah, guys, man, I don't know. I'm still figuring out. It's not as bad as it used to be. So we're doing something right. I think I have to continue to uninstall some shit. I have to continue to uninstall some shit and figure out what the hell's doing this to my computer like that. You know, let me bring the chat back and figure out what's going on with this. Yeah, I have to figure out what's going on with it. And their help section for XSplit is bullshit. Somebody said switch to OBS, but I don't know if it's actually. I mean, XSplit wasn't really the issue when it was running good. Yeah, it's getting better. I'm gonna try. I already rebooted. That's the thing. I reboot before every stream. I reboot for every stream, man. But I just want you to let you guys know that I'm, you know, again working on this. I wish again I want to go through some tickers so bad, but man, it's just too bad. Y'all know I love this shit more than anything. And making the small little 5-6 minute videos, man, it's just not enough because I can't go through enough tickers. You know, I can only go one at a time, and then, you know, the haters love those little videos you put out, those little 4 or 5 minutes. They come out of the woodwork for those. They come out of the woodwork. But these long streams, you know, they don't fuck with them because there's nothing to do. Appreciate that, Alan. I like iHub, Franklin Joe. I like iHub a lot. iHub is one of the first places I got, you know, in terms of forums, one of the first places I signed up at. There's iHub, and then there's Investors Hangout. But iHub is probably the best, hands down, because each stock at iHub has its own forum. Very similar to Investors Hangout, but they don't have as many people. Yeah. Steve, not really, man. I mean, you know, I downloaded some torrents, but other than that, you know, what I was thinking about doing was I got an external hard drive. I'm going to move all my torrents to the external hard drive, and I'm just going to refresh my whole computer, like restart everything. Completely wipe the whole drives away. I got two 1 terabyte hard drives. Two 1 terabyte hard drives in this computer. And I'm just going to wipe them both clean. Reinstall, and do it from there. It said try lowering the bitrate to 2000. Okay. Because I think right now I'm at like 10,000 for the bit rate. So you're saying lower it to 2,000? Isn't that's when the problem starts? Seems like it's when it gets down to 2,000. Because right now my bit rate is at 9,800. All right, so if I drop to 2,000, all right, so it goes down to 2020, 2010. But will I be able to maintain a 720p image? All right, so I'm at 2,000 right now. All right. Yeah, I'm at 2,000. All right, another stock. You guys remember when Array, RRY? This was a stock that we talked about here. I have it on the list, and I wanted to talk about it again if we could have had a show, because this is, when you see stocks like this is what makes you, really, really grateful to be invested in penny stocks, because RRY was a stock that was on our show here several times, and to see RRY now at moving out of penny stock territory, I must say it's very, very, very impressive. I must say it's actually really, really impressive to see ARRY at these levels. And this was a stock, again, we talked about it. I have it here on our list in September at that 363 level. And to see it moving out of penny stock territory, man, it's absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. All right. All right, Static Volt. I think you might have hit the nail on the head here. Yeah, Steve Gailey. I noticed that. But wouldn't that's what's shocking though? I mean, you first of all, I gotta even figure out what the hell bit rate means, and then maybe But with that being said, man, somebody throw some tickers out for this week though. Let me see. Somebody throw some tickers out for this week, because I'm looking at my list here. Let me see here. CHK, no. OGXI. OGXI was one that I had high hopes for, but OGXI has kind of been letting me down. I had high hopes for OGXI, as you can see here on the chart. Oh, now it's fucking up again. I had high hopes for OGXI. Pulled out some resistance levels, but now it's going back to test 58. Bits per second, bits per minute. Thank you, Londale. Franklin Joe, what software do you use to track on your PC? I'm using, what do you mean to track the stocks, Franklin Joe? Because I just use a regular Excel folder. I just basically, for every show, I list the stocks we talk about, the prices they were at that time, so that when I go back and somebody brings up a stock, if I want to see where we talk about it, just Control F, and then I find out if we talked about it in the past and shit, and at what price the stock was at. Let me see here. CIIX. It's also a good way to track stocks on your own too. I mean, get yourself, open yourself up an Excel folder, or even the Google version of it. Hey, I've looked at, so and so, organize it by date, put the ticker, the price you saw it at. It's pretty good. For the graphs right now, I'm using TradingView. What's going on, Speaker Knocker? Yeah, I mean, I wanted to do a show. I mean, I wanted to do a show. So right now, I'm just fucking with my stream right now, just trying to, get some kinks worked out here. So if you guys bring up a ticker, I'm going to talk about it. We're just going through what's going on right now. ChineseInvestors.com. What is that? Who brought that up? CIIX. Who brought this up? I've never heard of this company. Yeah. I had never heard of this company. But I'm going to do some research on it because, them Chinese people, they go hard in their plays. You already know they go hard in their plays, man. LTBR. So, yeah, if you got something to say about it, let us know. ChineseInvestors.com. Yeah, I never heard about that one. Lightbridge. LTBR. Here's the chart. It's sitting at $1.06. It's been very, very bearish for a very long time. And when you have these companies like this, LTBR, that is sitting at that $1 mark, a lot of people who love to short trade, who like to short stocks, they love that $1 mark because they think they can buy a ton of shares right there and then see it break into the high 80s or something like that. So it's actually pretty dangerous going into a stock at those levels. And plus that's a NASDAQ stock too, man. You go in there pretty heavy. Yeah, Callie, I think you got to remember, now that they've decided to go into the cannabis business, USEI is now officially the cheapest cannabis stock out there now. They still got ways to go in terms of compliance. They've got to, get some documents in. But right now, I just wanted to alert people that, you can probably get it at some levels now that I wish I could have gotten to, stocks like, OWCP or MJNA and stocks like that were way depressed when they were going through similar situations. So USEI, again, has also been a stock that was a huge runner in 2012, huge runner in 2014. So I know the people behind this company, not personally, but I know that they like to pump. And it's an opportunity that, you can get in on the ground floor. And, of course, I'm going to get in. I'm going to let you guys know. There's no pump going on here. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing about getting in and getting out tomorrow. It's not going to happen here. We're at 006 or 005. So all I'm saying is that, you can get yourself in at 005 and you might be able to close out at 00, 15, 0020, 0025 in maybe a month from now. You know what I'm saying? If that. I don't know what's going to be happening today or tomorrow in the stock. But how many stocks have we seen start at these levels and then go up 400, 500%? But this one that you guys just brought up, though, this LTBR, is kind of dangerous. It's kind of dangerous at this 10-something level. It's kind of dangerous at that level. IMNP. Yeah. IMNP is one of these stocks that, they just applied for appeal on the NASDAQ minimum bid price rule. That came out a couple weeks ago, as you guys can see there. They will request an appeal to regain compliance. So this could be really, really huge for them if they get approved for that. If they get approved for that, which is very likely, because NASDAQ doesn't want to delist people at the end of the day. They don't want to delist people. They get money. These companies pay money to NASDAQ to maintain the right to trade on the on the NASDAQ. So if that appeal goes through, that's going to be huge. That's going to be huge for this stock. So But the thing is, I do expect them to kind of come down from that 21 cents price right there. You know, will it hit that 16? I'm not sure. That 16 is that 52-week low. That 16 cents is the 52-week low. You know, Franklin Joe said, "What's my top 3 rappers, dead or alive?" He said, "What's my top 3 rappers?" In fact, I'm gonna write that down. IMNP. What was that? 21 cents. At 21 cents a share. You said it's on your list for tomorrow? Yeah, that approval could drop at any time. That approval could drop at any time, but you know, that's something for IMNP they got to get done. Yeah, it's definitely yeah. IMNP is definitely a buy because I don't doubt that they'll get another 180 days from Nasdaq, and that's going to be a huge move for them. You know, when Nasdaq approves you, it's just 180 days. It'll give you another 180 days to try to get the stock up, and I don't doubt that they'll be able to get it. My only thing is that, you know, can I get the stock for cheaper than 21 cents? You know, can we get this stock cheaper than 21 cents? It's you know, but it's held that price though for the last, you know, 2 weeks. So maybe it does have support at that level. Maybe we just need to accept it. Excuse me, it held 19 cents. So, you know, maybe we just need to accept that 21 might be your entry there. Well, we saw it coming, you know, Q to Mayo after that huge failure. Savara Farm though isn't that a public? No, it's actually a private company though, isn't it? Let me see here. Yeah, Savara to merge with Mass Therapeutics, but Mass Therapeutics. Okay, so it will be public. Okay, they're gonna keep the Savara name. All right, so shout out to MSTX. Shout out to MSTX is going to change their name to Savara. So they're going to keep the Savara name, which is reasonable because the whole MSTX now basically stands for failure. It basically stands for failure. So it was smart on their part to get rid of the name. You said you're in at 10 cents a share. Not bad. Yeah, we'll see what it can do from here, man. We'll see what we can do from here on MSTX. Yeah, you know, again, after that drug failure, man, that was a very, very embarrassing move from them. You know, if we go way back when, but MSTX, I tried to get them on the show. They almost came one time, but you know, they ended up coming up with some excuses. But MSTX, yeah, man, we'll see what that can do. And this stock was at like 7 cents not too long ago. So I mean, shit, MSTX. I mean, you're almost up 100% just from damn near December, dude. I'm looking at some of these December prices where it touched like, you know, 8-7 cents. On November 18th, it was at 7 cents. So yeah, you up 100% just from November. You know. Bitcoin 60 years ago be worth $38 million. Yeah. Well, I mean, look, everybody's Warren Buffett on hindsight, Ahmed. When it comes to hindsight, everybody's Warren Buffett. I wish I could have did this or I would have did that. You know, for example, there was a company in Detroit called American Axle. American Axle manufactured transmissions for Chrysler and GM and all that. Well, anyway, American Axle at the lowest point in 2009 traded for like 44 cents. The company traded for like 44 cents. And I think American Axle now Let me see. American Axle. Just curious myself. Their stock right now, yeah, it's at $20. It's at $20, man. You know, AXL. This is one of the companies that I want to say Obama took a stake in. You know, Obama took a stake in it. You know, and sure enough, went to the moon. Let me see here. In fact, let me. I'm curious myself. Where was that? Where was this at? The bottom low. Yeah, there it is, right here. I'm showing you guys on the chart here. Here was the bottom low. 92 cents. Excuse, yeah, 24 cents. About 24, 44 cents or so like that. And 44 cents. And now it trades at $20.69, man. $305. You're on the air. What's up?
Hello?
All right. So we got a white supremacist in the house today.
Get out of here, you damn nigger!
All right. All right. Yeah, somebody just playing around. What else? Mankind, MNKD, KD. All right. Mankind Therapeutics, 69 cents. Yeah, did you see on Mankind too, on MNKD? There's a article that came out on thestreet.com that talks about an insulin drug for MNKD. You might want to check that article out. This insulin drug, supposedly, that they're working on, called Afrenza. And I'll put that link in the chat room. And it's an insulin drug that they're working on for mankind. So I'm already keeping an eye on that one. I saw that come on this week. So interesting enough that it was picked up by thestreet.com, which is pretty reputable. And that's one of Jim Cramer. That's actually Jim Cramer's company. Jim Cramer owns thestreet.com. Yeah, Steve Harvey is over there cooning. You know, Steve Harvey is cooning. And it's so funny because Malcolm X mentioned that. You know what I'm saying? Malcolm X mentioned that when evildoers get into office, what they want to do is they always invite the so-called Negro leaders in for coffee and biscuits. And because they're so selfish, they don't ever deny the coffee and biscuits. And then they, come out of the office and say, oh, this guy, he's okay, everybody. He's okay. Giving him a pass to do evil. So you guys know I'm back and forth on Donald Trump. But at the end of the day, man, I think we've made a disastrous choice. Really have, but I'm trying to look at the positives. CRNT. Ciragon Networks. 23 cents a share gained on Friday. I want to need to know a little bit more about them. It's another IT services company. Yeah, they were on the map here. Man, they were at $1 in March. So the stock is up almost 300% for the year. That's what's up, man. Who brought that up? Raheem. Okay. Zach Upgrade, nice chart, low float. Yeah, I do see it's on the low float list. CRNT up 300% for the year too. Not bad. Looks like they're doing some big things over there. So I might want to do some research on that one. Looking on that chart, that looks like a 430, 425 swing pretty easily based on that momentum alone. Looks like there's a lot. I love the build up in the volume too. Look at that build up in volume that happened over the course of the year. Looks very, very productive there, man. 678. You're on the air. What's up?
Hi, I'm sorry to bother you. You've been on my mind for about a week now.
I've been on your mind for a week now.
But let me just get this out. Sorry, I can't tell you who I am because I have a
I
secret
take a
crush
look
on you.
at my enormous penis, and my troubles start melting away. I take a look at my enormous penis, and the happy times are coming to stay. I gotta sing and I dance when I glance in my pants, and the feeling's like a sunshiny day. I take a look at my enormous penis, and everything is going my way.
All right, guys. Anyway, let's get back to it, man. Let me see here. You said you like CLSN. CLSN. Celsion Corporation. 39. Oh, man, this stock is way beat up. Yeah, this stock is way beat up, man. I'm thinking this looks like it could be a bankruptcy situation here. Because I don't even see an ounce of... Yeah, I'm going to have to look into the books of this one, man. Because when you don't even see a couple of days of, buyers coming in to snatch it up, I see a couple things in here. That means that they don't even see any value in it. Because, you got scavengers out here. When you're looking at, FinViz, because I know a lot of you guys go to FinViz, and you just try to look at the bottom feeders. So you're like, find me all the cheapest stocks right now. And you're looking at that. You got to look at some of these financials and see where they're at too, because some of them might be near bankruptcy. And when I look at CLSN, I'm looking at possible bankruptcy situation. But that's just from a glance. That's just from a glance when I don't even see any scavengers coming in or anything. But it could just be in a rough patch. But I would look into it, man. Let me see here. Yeah, that's exactly what he said. It's exactly what he said, Styles. But you know what? I'm going to keep that on my list, though, CLSN, because it looks like it's definitely got some more meat on the bone. It's got to take off there. It's got some more meat on this bone. SWVI, Swing Plane Ventures, SWVI, Copper Ore Mining. Is it still a mining company? Let me see here. Is it still a mining company? That's what you gotta figure out. I see here the stock was dead for some time, and that's kind of what I see when I look at, USEI. Exactly what this company was doing right now. As you can see here in September, this was a stock that was at what, 001, and now we're like 0015. So, Swing Plane Ventures. Shout out to you if you were in it when it was not doing anything. But it looks like it's got some momentum here. Still very, very low volume, though. Still very, very low volume. So obviously something's coming up there. We'll see what happens over there. Yeah, we'll see what happens. But still relatively very, very low volume. When you're playing these low volume triples, you really just gotta have to be, or doubles, double zeros. You're gonna have to be that guy who's just sitting around watching everything happen. But those guys bank huge because, they'll sit back and watch. Those are the guys that walk away with 2,000, 3,000%. You jumping in at 2-3 cents a share, and then all of a sudden you're on level 2 and you see that guy who's dropping in an order for like 1.5 million shares. That's the guy who was in at 002. And now he's walking away with a windfall. He's walking in with a windfall of, $12,000, $15,000 on a $300 investment. RNVA trying to, yeah. RNVA's on the move, man. RNVA's on the move. That's actually one of the stocks for this coming week. I think RNVA is definitely on the move, man. You know, it's barely been doing anything, but the bands are so tight on RNVA. Like, I honestly believe it could pop, do something crazy this week. RNVA. Yeah, the bands are so tight it could do something crazy this week. Yeah, as long as my internet's working, man, we're going to keep going, man. We're going to keep going and knock out all these tickers out. Like I said, I know you guys are writing these tickers down, man. We're trying to make some money over here. Let me see here. HNDI. What else do you guys have? Where's the price of gold at right now? Where's the price of gold at right now? All right, so silver was up after hours. Gold is up 5 points. So we're at 1,200 on gold. Okay, that's interesting. All right, y'all see gold slowly kind of creeping up. Crude oil back over $52. Natural gas up. Natural gas is trying to hit 350s again. You know, this return in gold has been quite interesting, man. You know, gold over the last 7 days is up almost 30 points. Gold is up almost 30 points right now. What else you got? Nathan Qualls, ACOL, Ecology, 33 point something million. Yeah, nice chart, man. Nice chart on ACOL. Nice chart on ACOL. Slow but nice. Slow but steady though, right? This is what you love to see, man. Nathan, where are you in on this one, man? This is nice. Yeah, it's slow moving, but it's, you know, that's what you want to see though. I mean, you know, you month after month, you're higher than you were the month before. That's not bad. I like that chart, man. On ACOL. It's slow, but it's moving up there, and it's got decent volume. Look at that. It's putting up about 33 million on Friday. Average volume is about 324 million. You know, it's got a ton of shares out there. You know, that's why when a lot of people talk about, oh man, USEI's got so many shares out there. Well, dude, I mean, that's going to happen. You know, when these small companies are out here trying to raise money, you know, the people take options, they initiate the options, dump the shares. Now it's an opportunity where all these shares are out there. You can snatch them up for yourself. You know, ACOL has what, 5 billion shares outstanding? And people talk about USEI and my 2 billion. ACOL, you know, and ACOL is running. And ACOL is running. You know what I'm saying? ACOL is running. 254, you're on the air. What's up?
Hey,
Who am I speaking with?
how are you?
Man.
Get out of here,
This
you
is
damn
Tina.
nigga!
All right, man. Y'all playing games. But yeah, ACOL, and here's the thing. ACOL is another one where it was, let me see here, let me calculate that percentage gain, because ACOL is another one. On December 20th, ACOL, in fact, let me spread it out. I can go back further than this. Let's go back a little further, because this is the chart on ACOL, and this is what I honestly believe could happen to USEI. On September 1st, ACOL was going for 005. All right, 005. As you can see, it broke out of its, you know, high there, this mid-November high. And right now, ACOL is at, where is it at right now? 0070. It's at 0070. Let me do that math, man. 005 or 0005. And we at 0070. Yeah, that's a 1,300%. That's a 1,300% return on investment, man. That's 1,300% since September 1st. Since September 1st, that's 1,300%. And this is a stock with, again, 5 billion outstanding shares. That's a lot. That's a lot. You know, that's a lot of fucking shares. Knowledge Quench? Oh, yeah, call me back. Call me back, Knowledge Quench. I thought you might be one of them trolls out here. Yeah, we got a little bit of a troll attack going on here. Somebody, you know. Yeah, you know. Some of these white supremacists, you know, black folks talking about money, it's not good. 9781. What's going on?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Doing good, doing good. You got some stocks for us, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I'm not one of those fake members, man.
Good. Appreciate it, Knowledge Crunch. Thanks for the call. I think this is your first time calling the show, ain't it?
Actually, I have another YouTube account. I called you once before under, I forgot the name of it. This is my main account, though.
Okay.
But, yeah, I've called you once before. I called you about CLDX. I don't know if you remember. It was a little while back. But I think I also mentioned RNVA, that show, too, because my friend is the one that got me onto those two stocks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, but I was just going to, I had a few questions for you, and I also had a few stock tips.
Okay.
I don't know if, I'll start with the stock tips. I don't know if you've looked up, let me pull it up here. Let's see. The ticker is STM, so S as in Sam, T as in, I don't know, ticker, and then M as in more.
Yeah, STM is, we actually have a guy in the chat room, goes by the name of Sinclair, and that's been one of his favorite stocks, and he's been, you know, bringing that to our attention almost every day. But yeah, STM has been an incredible chart, man, and, you know, every time I've thought about jumping in, I'm thinking, am I, you know, going in too high? But sure enough, STM continues to go higher and higher and higher. So you let me know how far this can go, because it's been a crazy run for the stock.
Yeah, you know, if you look at it over the past year, I mean, that chart is something you really can't beat.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see it increasing over the next few months. It all depends with this Trump election that can affect markets. Obviously, not just Trump, any president can affect markets in a way that we don't predict.
Mm-hmm.
But if it stays on this course, I can see it increasing $1 within every month, or $0.50 within every month. So it just seems like a consistent stock to be with.
Mm-hmm.
I need to do a little bit more research on this particular company.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, I had that one. And I was also going to mention RNVA, but that's been mentioned so many times in the show.
Yeah.
I was going to try to call you a few days before you guys started speaking about RNVA more, because my friend had a feeling it was going to pop, and that was the day that it popped from 0.08 cents to 16.
Mm-hmm.
That was 3 days back. And I was actually calling to ask you, why do you think that was? Because my friend and I couldn't come to a conclusion as to why. And I was asking you in the chat one day if you thought it was a pump and dump.
If I could do a pump and dump?
No. I'm asking, do you think RNVA is a pump and dump, and do you think that's the reason why it increased so drastically?
No, not at all. I don't think it's a pump and dump at all. I haven't seen RNVA on any, you know, of the more active penny promoters out there email list. You know, this is a situation where sometimes stocks can get so depressed, man, that, you know, any little thing, any type of news, or sometimes just a large purchase can drive other people to get excited about, you know, the stock. And I can't explain why, you know, those situations happen, but it just happens where a bottom is reached, and all of a sudden people want to snatch up the stock, and they feel like something could be happening. You know, they feel like news can be coming around the pipe. So, I mean, who knows? But RNVA, honestly, I honestly believe that this is a stock that I expect, maybe if not this week, next week should make a pop here, because again, that,
you think again?
Oh yeah, man, this consolidation is just insane on the stock right now. So I wouldn't be surprised if RNVA, drop some kind of news or maybe something coming around the bend here for the stock because, it's been a while too. I noticed it's been a while since we've had any kind of corporate news from the company. The last significant one came out about 20 days ago where they talked about their acquisition of a small hospital not too long ago that we also looked into here in the show. But so it's been a while. The stock has been depressed for a long time. So they also have some NASDAQ compliance issues that we're going to be hearing about soon on that one. I'm not sure how far into their 180-day compliance that they're in where they're going to need to, have that situated. So we'll see what happens on RNVA. But I think right now at 9 cents is pretty a safe bet for a nice little pop here if you can catch it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. No, it's just it seems like an intriguing stock. I didn't have money in it, unfortunately, but my friend had a profit of $500, but unfortunately he wasn't able to sell in time, and he wrote it out to the price that it's at, so he kind of broke even.
Yeah, see, situations like that, if you get in at like 8 cents, 7 cents, and you already know where you think you want to get out at, I would already put in an order. I would put a limit order already for that, at that 18, that 16, that 15 cents you want to see your profit at, and just leave it. Just set it and forget it. Yeah. And if it crosses that, then you get cleared and you wake up one day and, or something just happens and you find out, you got that profit in your account. But I would never, and I rarely allow myself to actually sell. I would put in the order, a limit order for the price that I want. And if it hits it, great. Or sometimes I'll just go back and adjust and sell for wherever it's at now. But I always put in a limit order for what I want. And because I never know when something could drop or some news can happen where, I'm going to have to, manually have to do it because you sometimes you're just not on time,
Yeah, I follow the same method, but along the lines of this, and maybe this question can help some of your viewers, and I know it'll help me. I wouldn't say I'm a new trader. I've been doing this for about a year and a half, on and off. I've been getting serious about it for the past 4 months. Your show, thankfully, has helped me a lot. It showed me a lot of good stocks, so I thank you for that. And your followers for providing good information. But the question is this. I don't have a $25,000 plus more account. So the law that brokerages have to follow, right, is you can't make 3 or more days. You can make 3 day trades within a 5-day trading period. You can't make more than that. Correct me if I'm wrong. And if that is the case, how do you go around to day trade without having the punishment of being with being tagged as a pattern day trader?
Multiple brokers.
Multiple brokers.
Yeah, just having a TD and an E-Trade. Simple as that. The TD is free. The E-Trade is $500 to set up. I mean, or you can use whatever other brokers you suggest. But just having a TD and an E-Trade, you double up your ability to trade, and that's basically how you go. And you can go really in between them. I mean, if you want, you can send money in between them with your bank in the middle, of course. But I would just use those 2 brokers. If I'm dealing with just pennies, just use TD, your E-Trade. You can use a Robinhood as well. Yeah, somebody brought up Robinhood. SureTrader.
That's what I'm using.
Right. So Robinhood's really good for taking your money in and out. They're really quick with that. So you can, of course, man, there are multiple ways to get around the PDT rule. That's not even something that should be anybody's concern because these brokers make it so easy for you to join them and for you to get your money in and out. The PDT rule should be the last thing you're worried about, honestly.
Yeah, no, it's just when I mentioned, have been investing for about a year and a half, 2 years, but I've been a long-term investor. I've been more concentrated on day trading and swing trading, so that's why I wasn't even concerned about the pattern day trader rule because I wasn't investing in a way that would affect me or hinder me.
Got it.
As to breaking that rule, but well, thank you for the information. I have a TD at Ameritrade opened up. I haven't put money into it, but I do have a Robinhood. I advise everyone, if they could, to open up a Robinhood account. I mean, that's new to trading. I think it's a great start.
Right.
I have used other brokerages. I just haven't put money into TD and Ameritrade yet. But yeah, no, that doesn't make sense. And again, I'm new to this day trading, so. Right. And not to take too much more of your time, I was just going to offer and kind of take your advice on on what you think of me doing this. And again, like I said, I'm kind of new to day trading, but a technique I've developed, I don't know, maybe you can offer another better technique. Sorry if you can hear those beeps. Sounds like blowing up my phone.
Okay.
What I will do every morning, I'll open up a stock screener through Yahoo or MSN, but I typically through Yahoo, and I'll just see the top percent change gainers for that morning, and then I'll narrow it down to about 10 with the chart if it looks nice, and I'll find out why those 10 are gaining. And then from that, I can usually find one that I feel comfortable putting money into for the rest of that day, and I feel like it'll increase. And for the past week, I've been up about $350 doing that. And ETRN has been a great help, boosted me up 200. But
so to understand your strategy, you're looking at the stocks that are up, and you're just kind of piggybacking off those.
About 75% of me, yes. But I have to read the news to see, if it's just hype, and the reason that it boosted up was just hype, then I'm not going to jump on it. But if it's like a quarter two great, if it's like a great quarter two earnings or a quarter three earnings that exceeded expectations, yeah, I'm going to jump on that piggyback because I think it'll increase a little bit more. But yeah, to answer your question, yes, that's essentially kind of what I'm doing.
Okay. Yeah. I mean that's a strategy. Yeah, that Tim Sykes teaches and stuff like that. So you're basically looking at what's the hottest stock of the day. You're jumping on for a moment, whether it be as little as 10 minutes to an hour or an hour and a half, and then you're just kind of getting your gains in between then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, I understand exactly what you're doing.
I just didn't know if that's like a common technique that a lot of
traders use. I mean that's exactly what it's very typical what Tim Sykes uses. Guys who use equity feed, that's one of the big scanners out there. That's what they do typically. They'll find stocks that are up on unusual volume or on some kind of news. They'll go ahead and take very quick positions because the scans on equity feed, I believe it's like every 2 seconds or something like that. So they are alerted ASAP if something moves that's unusual, and they jump on it and they ride it for as little as 10 minutes to an hour and a half, for anywhere between as little as 5% to who knows how high it can go. But yeah, that's a strategy that's deployed. I mean, you're basically scalping the market, and if it works for you, I mean, do whatever you got to do, man. If it's working and making you money, keep it. It.
Yeah, and it's also a way to show, like with ETRM, I know a lot of people might have found it doing that, but I also like to just look at news before a stock may increase. Obviously, a lot of people do that, but that's harder than just piggybacking after the fact.
Yeah.
But all right, man. Thanks for taking your time listening to me talk.
Not a problem, man.
I appreciate the advice.
And thank you for the call, man.
No, thank you for your time, man.
All right. All right, so shout out to him, man. Thanks for the call. Didn't mean to hang up on you, bro. Didn't mean to hang up on you, but appreciate the call. Appreciate the call, man. And, I mean, that's his strategy. He's able to, find stocks that are going to be up and jump on top of them. The only thing is that goes back to, that's kind of why at the beginning he was talking about the PDT situation, because when he's doing that, he's running out of trades. So that's the situation with him, is that, he's going to have to get a different broker in order to make that strategy really work for him. Yeah. And Cruz, I saw Cruz Cuts talking about best time to trade is closing hours, hold into the next morning. Cruz, that typically works best for options players. I wouldn't see if it's good for for people who buy stock. I wouldn't say that would be a good option. But if you play options, that's kind of what you do. You toward the end of the day, if it settles down, you believe it could be a continuation tomorrow, you buy some calls into the next day. But I wouldn't say for somebody who's buying shares to do that, because that the next day could be a day of taking profits. And if you're buying into the the hype of that trading day, you might find yourself at a loss. Or, which I think you're trying to do, is you go in toward the end of the day, and then for the gap up or that, huge order that comes in, when people come home and they see a 100% gain or 150% gain, you see yourself getting out into that first 30 minutes, then I could see where you're kind of talking about. Then I could see where that works. But I think swing trading, I honestly believe swing trading is the best way to go because you capture all of that gain. And not only that, but your commissions are significantly less. When you scalp the market, your commissions are insane. You look at toward the end of the month and you're paying $1,000, $2,000 for commissions. Whereas if you swing trade, right, 2 days, 3 days, a week, 2 weeks, 4 weeks, you keep that commission, that access a lot lower. Slippage, that's the word for it, slippage. You keep that slippage to a minimum and you're able to maximize your return. So that's why we got a lot of guys here who love to get it dirt cheap and will just sit and wait. Just sit and wait and not make trades for a week and a half. That's how they make it work. Yeah, Arnold, I was, this is just a little holiday show, man. I'm just playing with my internet, trying to figure out what the hell's going on with this internet. Or it's not the internet now. It's something with the computer. So I'm trying to figure it out. But, so far it seems good enough to do a show. So I was like, fuck it, let's do a show. But I was just testing. What other stocks are you guys looking at, though? What other stocks are you guys looking at? What's going on, Dre? Jamal Lewis. I would say value trading. It's its own thing because value trading. I mean, you could be sitting in the stock for, 5, 10, 15 years. Or if you're a quote unquote value trader, I don't even believe they even use that word per se anymore. Those are the type of terms that you would read like those old Warren Buffett books like Buffettology and shit like that. Travi, no, I don't, man. I actually don't have anything else running. I would pull up my task manager, but again it would stop everything. But I actually don't have anything running right now. Yeah, the only thing I have running right now is VLC player, AVG, which says it's off. Standard mode, economy mode. AVG. That AVG and Skype, and then NVIDIA GeForce Experience. Those are the only 4 things that I have running right now. And I'm going to install that AVG because it could be hampering me somewhat. MLCG. Let's look at some more tickers. MLCG. What is this? ML Cap Group. I can't even get anything. Investments. Trust. Look, I can't even get a chart on it. It's so dead. Let me see. What is this about? MLCG. All right. So the stock right now is out of compliance. The company has not provided any information to OTC markets in some time here. So you might want to be very careful with this one right now. All right. You might want to be very careful with this one right now. There's currently no information. There's no website. There's nothing out there of this stock right now. You said Skype might be making a buffer. Could be. Sarah, I'm using a bootleg version of Windows 10. A bootleg version of Windows 10 called Minimalist. So it barely has any of the typical things you find in Windows 10. So one of these computer nerds hooked me up with it. And it was good for, almost damn near a year I had it. Oh, thank you, Nathan Qualls. You said, what's the typical catalyst for morning spikes, morning dips? Oh, it could be anything, man. Any kind of news can have a stock go up higher like that. All right, let's see, man, because my bit rate now is it getting annoying? Is the buffering getting annoying? Yeah, let me shut. Okay, I'll shut the Skype down. Let me shut the Skype down. Let me shut. Okay, so I shut the Skype down. A backup portable SSD Samsung might help. Yeah, I got two internal hard drives, both of them 1 terabyte, and that's what I use. So I got one that's like full of torrents. And again, I don't have any torrents on right now, so Skype is closed now, so I don't have Skype up. Yeah, Warren Buffett is the greatest value investor ever. MLCG, yeah, but be very careful, MLCG, man. There's, you can get halted in something like that. I don't like messing with any kind of stocks that are not currently compliant. I don't like messing with stocks that are not compliant, because that's the biggest excuse that the SEC does to halt a stock, is that, hey, they didn't submit their filings on time, If they don't have no shit on the financials, they don't have any, if they miss, they don't have something filed, that's just getting halted. And then your $200, $300, $400, that you might be up 1,000% on, is shit, because you don't ever know when it could be taken off. Because when they halt a stock, they don't necessarily tell you when they could remove it. It just gets removed, or sometimes, with a lot of these pennies, it never gets removed. Do I have Cortana disabled? No, I see Cortana right here. I don't have it. Should I hide her? Let me see my settings. Cortana is honestly worthless, by the way. I mean, they don't even really do a good job of getting you that stuff. And I had a friend who was able to get my theme down to where it almost looked like an old version of Windows, and it used barely any power at all. Cortana takes away too much. Only a computer name can get out of it. Get rid of it. Okay. Yeah, it's so funny because I just started messing with it, and I saw that it started buffering. But I'm trying to figure out, how do I get the theme? How do I get away with this advanced theme? Like, go back to some real old version theme. Damn, shit. My shit is buffering like a motherfucker now. Yeah. Yeah, man, this is crazy. Let me see. How do I make my theme like old fashioned, and not use so much on my theme? don't mean to bore the hell out of you guys. Don't mean to bore the hell out of you guys. I'm just trying to do everything I can to get this show back rolling again. My only problem is that all these were on. How high do I think Facebook can go? I think Facebook is the new Amazon, man. I think Facebook could be the new Amazon. Yeah, Sarah, I will definitely do that. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right. I'll definitely look into that. Thank you, Sarah. I appreciate that. All right. Raised a bit now that I lowered. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna raise the back up. I want to look through some of the other stocks that we haven't talked about here in a minute. All right, so let me raise it back up to like what? 8,000? Have I ever heard of Sierra World Equity? What's the ticker for that? Ahmed? And as long as it's in compliance, you know, that might be something you might want to look into. And I gotta probably stop using Google Chrome too, man, because I heard Chrome uses a lot of your computer. I gotta find a browser that's much lighter, because I know Chrome, I hear, uses a lot of resources. All right, so one thing you guys go to, as I like to find, is if I go to services, well, no, actually market activity, corporate action, if on otcmarkets.com, I go to corporate action. Oh man, this is getting pathetic, man. This is getting horrible. Hold on, guys, man. This is getting horrible, man. Oh, damn. All right, so you can go to symbol changes and you can pull up some of the things that some of these companies are doing recently to help upgrade or get themselves downgraded, depending on what they're doing. All right. So as you can see here, you can go through company name changes. You can go through splits, deletion, suspension, halts. You can find out what was halted or deleted. Piggybacks, dividends, tier changes. So maybe one goes from, the lowest of OTC QB up to OTC QX. That could be a one. What's going on, Izzy Jules? That could be a way to do it. And pardon with all the buffering, guys. Pardon with all the buffering. Jack, no, we actually turned off. Skype, man, because I've been having so many issues. I've been having so many issues with buffering and things like that. So this was actually just a test situation. I wasn't actually going to go live. And this is buffering like crazy now, man. And I wasn't actually going to go live, guys, and it's probably getting a little bit worse. Man, I got to figure out what's going on. So clear the cache as well. Okay. So I'm gonna go. Let me get up out of here. And I obviously, it's very clear that I still got a lot to do in terms of getting myself, being able to stream again. I did 100 episodes, and we had our issues here and there, but they weren't this bad at all, man. They weren't this bad at all. This is horrible. So please, please forgive me, guys. I mean, I hate to come off so ghetto and unprofessional, man. I hate to come off so ghetto and unprofessional. I'm terribly sorry that just isn't working right now. Because it's really affecting my business in terms of, streaming on YouTube. And I don't want to have to just rely on making a couple videos here and there and then sending out emails. But I really appreciate you guys. Let me get up out of here. I'm going to take Sarah's advice. Thank you, Sarah, for all the advice. And let me get back to work, okay? All right, appreciate you guys. Let me get out of here. All right. Thanks a lot. Yeah, visit that Discord room. Damn, this is ridiculous.